What's up everyone, this is Kay, and the Festering Desire is quite the powerful free-to-play sword since all players should have it at R5. This is perhaps one of the best swords for Jean if you build her as an Anemo DPS due to the damage and crit rate buff for her E skill, as well as having recharge stats to spam her burst skill. And as always, my showcase will be strictly on Jean's damage outputs with no buffs from food or teams, since I want to give you the best representation of her damage potential. You'll see some Albedo skill damage here and there, but he doesn't enhance her numbers or anything, so just ignore the Geo damage and look at her Anemo damage. Starting with her stats, she's at Constellation 0, so no bonus damage at all. Here's her general stats. Attack numbers are pretty high, coming at 2k. Now, for her crit rate and damage, it's on the lower side, especially my crit rates, but the Festering Desire gives her a 12% crit rate on her E skill, so technically it's 43%, which is below the recommendation but still fairly consistent from my own experience. The reason why my crit rate is so low is because I have horrible luck with the right artifacts. I'll explain more when I show you. Keep in mind, her burst does not receive any bonus. I do have an Anemo Goblet, obviously since this is an Anemo build, so she does have a decent boost in that category. Here are my talents. It's at 6, 7, 8. The boost for her first ability is from Child, so ignore her normal attack. If you're wondering why her burst is at level 8 and not her E skill, it's because I originally built her as a burst spammer having over 250% recharge. This was before I knew about the event sword, but prioritize her E skill if you want to build her as a Anemo DPS, since that's her main form of damage. For artifacts, the best sets in my opinion for an Anemo DPS build is the 2-piece Gladiator and 2-piece Viridescent. Flower and Feather should ideally have both crit rate and damage. Sans is attack percentage, and I did have a lucky 17% crit damage substat. Goblet is Anemo damage. Now, I don't have any Anemo Viridescent or Gladiator goblets, which should be the most ideal set for her, giving you more flexibility for the other artifacts. Sadly, I was never lucky enough to get one. Which is the reason why my Circlets isn't crit rate, because my Anemo is an offset. I'm forced to use Viridescent or Gladiator for this slot in order to receive the bonus, but till this day, with all my grinding, I still haven't received a crit rate or damage main stat for either of those sets, so I'm using attack percentage for now. But I will showcase a crit rate artifact being used as well, although I will lose out on 18% bonus from the 2-piece Gladiator. Just know if you can use a crit rate while maintaining the 2-piece bonuses, performance will be a lot better. So with the Festering Desire, a non-crit will give me 7,500 on her E skill, 15,600 if she does crits, which is pretty high with no buffs. Keep in mind her E does have a 43% crit rate, so it's not always going through, but it's not too bad either in my opinion. Non-crit burst will give me around 9,700, with crit, it'll give me 20,000. Just remember, as an Anemo DPS, Jean isn't meant to be out on the field long. You'll typically need another DPS, then whenever her E skill or burst is ready, pop her out and use those abilities, then switch back. Rinse and repeat. With the Festering Desire, her normal attacks aren't high. She's built strictly for her Anemo damage, which has a small downtime. Next, I'm going to show you her damage when I switch out her Circlets for a crit rate focus one. I'll lose out on the 18% attack bonus, but I want to have more consistency with her. If we look at her stats now, she'll go from 30% to practically 60%. With her sword, her E skill will jump to 71%. With this change, her E skill would deal 11,400 damage on crit, over 4k less from my previous artifact, but her crit rate consistency is way higher. Burst will have 14,400 on crits, 6k lower than before. If you have better artifact sets than me, such as a 2-piece Gladiator with crit rate on it, damage will be higher, but overall consistency is way better with crit rate, which I do recommend. Honestly, you can deal as much damage as you want, but if it rarely goes through, then it's less useful compared to lower damage, but having more consistency. I'm still going with the attack percentage for my Circlets instead of crit rates, because my main build for Jean isn't DPS like I'm showing you right now. She's more so a support, so I need higher attack for better healing. If you guys want, I'll show you my main Jean build, which is basically a hybrid between damage and healing. Just let me know if you're interested. The biggest competition to the Festering Desire is the Black Sword if you're building her as an Anemo DPS. I'll show you the difference. Her E skill will deal 12k damage fairly consistently because her crit rate is very high. Burst damage on crit will be 18,800, which unlike Festering Desire, has a better crit rate. I should also mention my Black Sword is at a lower level. It's at level 80, while Festering Desire is at 90. So damage will be higher than 12k if you max out the sword. I didn't change the artifacts. They are all the same, 2-piece Viridescent and Gladiator. Now, this gameplay is when I switch my attack percentage Circlet for a crit damage one to see if it's better. Again, I lose out on the 18% attack bonus, but an E skill with this change, I deal significantly less damage compared to having the attack percentage, 11,300 compared to 12,100. This is because my circlet has over 20% crit damage substat with attack percentage along with an 18% attack boost from the bonus, not something everyone can replicate. But generally, you will deal around 11k consistently with either swords. But is the Festering Desire the best sword for an Anemo DPS Jean? I have to go with the black sword on this one. The general crit rate boost will offer more artifact flexibility, and her elemental burst will also crit more often. But her recharge will be lower, so you'll spam her burst less compared to the Festering Desire because it has energy recharge. A huge problem with the black sword, however, is that you have to pay for it. Even if players bought the battle pass, they may not want to waste it on the black sword, making it non-free-to-play friendly, not to mention, refinement is horrible. This makes the Festering Desire the best sword for an Anemo DPS Jean if you don't have the black sword, because with a crit build, she can easily deal 11k damage with her E skill, even more depending on your artifacts, while being able to spam her E burst. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Genshin videos. I'm going to have an albedo breakdown, so look forward to that. I also did a 4-piece Hydro set review on Child. Check that out if you haven't yet. Don't forget, Ganyu is coming out within a week, so good luck to those who are summoning for her. I will be trying to summon her. I'll spend 90 summons. Hopefully I don't get spooked, but if I do, I may buy more gems to pull her, or I'll save the guarantee 5-star on Zhao's banner, but we'll see in the future. Anyways, have an awesome day everyone. Till next time.